This video is particularly for the chosen ones. Now, this is the truth. So, from what I see in this world, is that the chosen ones are highly outnumbered. And for those of you that don't know what a chosen one is, there's different things people think about this term as a chosen one. I just think a chosen person is somebody that does not let the world turn them into something they're not. A chosen person doesn't abide by the rules of society, does not fit in with society. They might do something in society, but they don't fit in with it. They don't do the regular things that regular people do, fitting in, talking shit, doing all these things, what a bunch of weirdos like to do. But yet, they claim people like us weird, when really, they are not themselves at all. They are lost. They don't know where to go, who to look for, what to do, because they have no backbone. They have no self-esteem within themselves. They need to feed off of each other. When chosen people can walk their own path, think for themselves, do their own things, are happy on their own, and these other people just cannot. Not everybody is chosen. I think it has to be something, and I believe something. I believe being the chosen one is something that is in you. And then there's other people that want to say, oh, you just think you're so better than everybody else because you call yourself chosen. Or this or that or that or this. I really don't know like how to respond to something like that, because being chosen has to do with your actions. You're either chosen or you're not. And most people are not. I think this channel, there's a lot of people on this channel that are chosen. I can tell by the energy. I can tell by all the love in the comments section. I can tell by the way people are and how they think and how they can relate to me. And it's everybody else that's just sort of, you can tell people that are off rhythm. They're just not all there. And I believe there's people in this world also that they could potentially be chosen, but they're doing the wrong things, which is making them not a chosen one. I think it has to do with your actions as a person as to whether you are chosen or not. Deep down inside, my whole life, I always felt different. I always felt chosen, but I wasn't always taking the right actions in my life. Whenever I was in high school, I was at my worst. And people in high school still thought I was good. People in high school still accepted me, and like, I did have fun in high school. I did what everybody else does. Partied. You get with the good looking girls, you're playing the sports, you're doing all the cool things that people are doing, but at the end of the day, I really was not doing the right things. Even though it might be fun, it's not going to last. Like, you can't just live that life for the rest of your life. You have to amount to something. And people that continue that type of life out of high school end up falling short, end up pissing their life away, and end up doing things like this. And it's just like, even whenever I was doing those things, right, guys, I knew that's not who I was, and I knew that's not what I was going to do. But I hadn't, like I just feel, since I was in high school, since I had to stay there, I didn't have a choice. We have to go to school. We have to graduate. At least get your grade 12. I had to be around those types of people, those types of energies. So it's just what happened. And as soon as I got out, I got my focus back. As soon as I got out, the parties came to an end. The party's over. All the fun and games are over. Now real life is starting. And that's where I went on my path. People didn't expect it. The results I started to get so quickly because I'm putting every ounce of myself into my being, into the right path. People are starting now. Like, I'm catching them off guard. I'm surprising people, and now people are starting to hate because, and it's getting intense because I'm really making progress. I'm really making people think, wow, like, he's doing it. And you know what? It just began. The hate grew. The jealousness, the envy, like, all those things. People started to really dislike me for a while. And people can get the wrong idea about you also for a while and then turn to like you later on. Things like that can happen, and it did happen to people. I'm not saying that necessarily happened to me, but you know what? Maybe a little bit. And for no reason too. It's something, like, I never wanted to be hated necessarily. I always told myself, and I never, nothing was ever going to stop me, but no one wants to be hated. Like, you'd have to be out of your damn mind. But I just think if you're chosen, you're chosen. Like, you're going to choose that path for yourself. And there's not a damn thing anybody can do about it. And you're going to go down that path. And it is the chosen path. It is the sacred path. It is the magical path. And it's not the easy path either, I guarantee you that. That's why a lot of people, and some chosen people that could have been chosen, they sell out. Because they took the easy way out. I don't want the easy way out. I never wanted the easy way out. I knew my life was going to be hard. I knew when I set out to do certain things, my life was going to be hard. It was going to be a roller coaster, and it was not going to be easy. The work I was going to put in, I knew it was going to be next level. And I was 1000% right. Things never get easier. It's tough. Everything I do is tough. These videos are tough. Everything outside I do, other than these videos, is tough. The gym's tough. Everything. The discipline that I have on a day-to-day basis, it's not easy. You can't just slack. You can't just relax. You can't just waste time every day. Like, it's a crazy, crazy ride. And yeah. But like I said, guys, the chosen ones are highly outnumbered, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with how good you're doing, like, in your life, and it doesn't depend on your current circumstances. Like, you might not have much right now, but you have thoughts of a lot better. That's where I was at, because I didn't have much, but I had thoughts of a lot better, and I gained a lot better. And as I gain a lot better, I only get more and more and more and more and more thoughts. You can't get to a certain destination and think you made it, or you did this, or you did that, because that is the end of your path. That is the end of your road. There's always going to be something next. There's always going to be a next goal. When you achieve something, it's always going to be what's next, right away. And I've had goals before whenever I was younger that I set, that I achieved, and I didn't have a goal right after the goal that I achieved, and it led to a lot of unhappiness, sadness, just the feeling of being lost. And like, you can't sleep on a win, because I did something pretty significant and I slept on the win. I feel like I did it, I accomplished it, yay me. No, I'll never do that dumb shit again. Like, you can be proud of yourself, but you have to, you can't be too high. You can't get too high on a win. You cannot get too high on a win. You have to continue to go in this life. Serve your purpose, grind, do what you gotta do, like the chosen ones do. And we are highly outnumbered. More people in this world are clearly not chosen. And you don't have to be. It's not something that you have to be, because it's okay to take the easy way out. If that's what you want to do, you can take the easy way out. You can do that. If that's what's going to make you happier, and you know what, some people are happier. Some people want the easiest life possible. Some people want to like do just enough, and that's okay. But I'm just here to explain like how the chosen ones are outnumbered, and sometimes we are looked down upon. Sometimes not necessarily looked down upon, because people do know in the back of their heads what we are capable of, and things like this, and they know we're not dumb. But they want to try to like take us down. They want to try to like destroy us. They want to try to like give us negative energy to try to bring us down, because our light is so bright. They need to try to bring us down. They need to try to do things to get us off our path and off our game, right? They need to do these things because they don't have the strength within themselves to do the things that a chosen one is doing. So they attack. They're not going to give you positive energy. They're going to give you negativity. And even the negativity that you receive, you have to use that as well as fuel and turn that into positivity. Turn all that negative energy into something positive. Use everything you get to your advantage. All the positive and the negative. And you don't have to look into anything too much. I don't look into anything too much personally, and that's why I just said that, because I just think you have to stay sharp in your own mind and don't look into anything too much. Because if you do, you can get too high in a wind. If you do, things can just, you can start to not be yourself. You can start to behave a certain way. You think this, you think that. You don't want to think those things. You want to think for yourself. You want to stay centered line and think for yourself. Because that's where all the magic is. When you can think for yourself. And it's not as easy as it sounds to think for yourself, because there's so many things in this world that can take us away from ourselves. And that's what happened to me. It takes work, it takes discipline, it takes super focus and awareness to think for yourself. And to be able to put yourself in a position to think for yourself. You can't think for yourself if you got a wife and kids and all this other stuff, because you have so many distractions. It doesn't mean you like, obviously if you have positive people in your life, your wife or your husband, they can be very positive, very loving, very caring, and very understanding. But it reduces the chances, obviously, if you think for yourself. If the more people you have around you, the more distracted you're going to be. So it's like you have to make certain sacrifices. You have to get away from certain people. And you have to get away from certain friends as well. Like, they're just going to bring you down. So you have to be careful. You have to be very careful. And even if you're living with parents, even if you're, if you're younger, like I was at one point, you're gonna be living with parents before you become an adult, and it's a distraction unless you really have the right parents and they're pushing you to do better. They know it. They're not necessarily trying to push you into anything. They're just sort of like hyping you up. They're sort of just like giving you the right advice, which is not trying to push you into anything, because parents that try to push you into certain things, they don't even know what's best for themselves. They're just trying to make you figure it as fast as possible for whatever reason. They're putting so much pressure on their young kids that they're taken away from their kids. They're taken away from their kids' potential. They're taken away from their kids' own thoughts. And there's a lot of people that grow up like that. I never let things like that get to me. And I wasn't hyped up in the household that I came from. But it wasn't too bad either. It's just, and I dealt with things obviously that was very negative, but I was able to withstand everything and think for myself and not let anybody else tell me otherwise. I didn't let teachers, I didn't let friends or students in the same school as me, I didn't let parents, I didn't let anybody have any influence over me, because all the influence that was coming my way was not the right type of influence. It was bad. It wasn't good, because I knew what it was, and I knew I was above all these people and what they're trying to say. I just knew it, because my higher power was always with me. My higher power was always speaking to me, and everything else just felt like the enemy. Everything else just felt like they're trying to push the wrong things onto me, and I can feel it and I know it. So it's like, I love these people from a distance, but you can't come too close. You can't. And I do let some people close, but not a lot, because I really have to know who you are, and I really have to trust you in order for me to let you come close. And if you're radiating bad energy, you have to go. I don't care if we knew each other forever. Like, that's just something that you have to identify for yourself. Is this person really good for you, or are they bad? And that's something chosen ones are really good at, and I got better with it over time. I'm only going to become a more stronger person as the days are going to go, and I do have days where my energy isn't top notch because I do so much, guys, but I'm always going to be pushing it to be better, and I'm always going to recover at the end of the day, and life is going to go on, and I ain't going to stop. And that's what we all have to do. We have to fight. Just like you're in the military, just like you're fighting for your country, you have to fight. You have to fight for your life. You have to fight for your people. It's what we have to do. So that's the path. That's the game plan. That's how it is. We show up every day to the best of our ability. Even on the down days, we show up. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm going to show up. And it's what we do. So I'm going to end this video there. I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. I have a lot more stuff to do after this video, so I'm going to get to that right away after I grab some honey and some water. If you guys want a tip, get yourself a bottle of honey, or whatever honey you have in your area, and consume honey like 5 to 10 times a day. Literally. Like, I have a bottle of honey, I just pop the cover, squeeze some in my mouth, I'll put it down, set it down, and just at random times when I'm around the house, like, I'll just grab the honey and consume more of it, because it has a lot of vitamins and minerals in it. That's very healthy, and it's good for energy. Honey is a natural sugar. Some people don't think sugar is good and stuff like this, but I consume a lot of sugar every single day, and I'm very lean. So it just goes to show too how hard I work. I mean, if you're never exercising, you have to watch out for sugars and stuff, but with me, I'm an absolute animal, so I can consume a lot of sugar and still be very, very lean. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to cut this one off now, and I will be back.